Hi, I'm Megan Burns, and I've been getting a lot of questions lately about writing a customer experience vision statement. So I thought I'd make a video with some of the tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years reading vision statements and helping companies formulate them. I will say that this video is not about deciding what your customer experience vision should be. That's a much more involved process that requires customer research and thinking about your brand strategy. But I find it very helpful when you're doing that research to have a template sometimes that you're trying to fill in an idea of what the final statement will look like structurally. Or if you have already done the research and you're looking to capture it in a way that you can share with employees and that they can remember and actually use to guide decisions, then this video is for you. Whenever I look at a customer experience vision statement, I'm looking for three things. Number one, it has to be clear, right? If people don't understand what the vision is, you might as well not tell it to them. The second thing is it has to be easy to remember, because this vision statement is supposed to be a guiding star, a North Star, something that employees can go to when they're not sure what to do and say, okay, well, we're trying to deliver an experience that matches this vision. Which of these options is going to get us closest to that vision? And if they can't remember it, they can't do that. And then the last piece is it has to be useful. I find that there are some visions that are written in such a way that people have a hard time actually quoting them or translating them. I'll give you some examples of what I mean in a little while. But you want it to be something that people can bring up in a meeting and pose in the form of a question. Is this in line with our customer experience vision? So given those criteria, there are four formats that I like and suggest that people try out for customer experience vision statements. The first one is just a list of words, and it's a list of adjectives that describe the customer experience. So if you're writing a vision statement in this format, you're basically completing the sentence, we want every customer experience to be fill in the blank. And I'll give you some examples of these in practice. AARP, the membership organization, wants their experience to be personal, effortless, and inspiring. There's a utility company that I have talked to for research through the years who wants their experience to be rewarding, easy, and pleasant. And this list of adjectives or lists like those are really good ways to articulate a CX vision for a couple of reasons. Number one, they meet that useful criteria, right? We want every experience to be ... So if you're trying to measure or make a decision about it, you can just say, hey, did customers perceive the experience as having all of these characteristics? Plus, I think it's the easiest to explain because it's giving people a description of the experience itself. The second flavor of customer experience vision statements is very similar. It's also a list of words, but instead of those words describing the experience, they describe the feelings that you want customers to have during and after the experience. So you could start out by trying to complete the sentence, we want every interaction to make customers feel, and then fill in the blank. This is nice because it's about the customer, right? Definition of customer-centric. And it could be something as simple as we want the customer to be happy, right? Disney is the happiest place on earth. Eyeglass manufacturer and provider Warby Parker wants their customers to feel happy and good looking. The salon company Drybar wants their customers to feel happy and confident. A lot of hotels want people to feel relaxed. There are all sorts of feelings that you can use to anchor your CX vision. And what I like about this version is that it directly connects to emotion. And I've seen and others have seen in our research through the years that emotion, how the experience makes people feel, has the biggest impact on things like customer loyalty and positive word of mouth. So if you can capture and describe to people the feelings you want customers to have, and you can successfully deliver on those, then you know that you're pulling a lever that is particularly important in terms of whether or not your customer experience will ultimately help your business. The third kind of customer experience vision statement, the third format, is a set of promises that says in all of our dealings with customers, we promise to. And I'll give you a couple of examples of these. There's a pharmacy retail company, CVS, here in, well, I'm in Massachusetts, but they're based in Rhode Island. And their customer experience statement is save time, save money, eliminate stress, and help customers and their families live happier lives. Those are all promises that CVS is making to the customers, saying this is what we are going to do in all of our interactions with you. Ally Bank has a slightly different set of promises. They promise to do right, to obsess about customers, and to innovate tirelessly. And with customer promises, the nice thing about this is that it's more closely connected to behaviors. So you can say to employees, these are the things that we are promising to customers we are going to do. And we as individuals and as an organization need to live up to those promises. So it's less about the experience and more about the behavior that you need employees to get. And communicating that is a critical part of helping people internalize the customer experience vision. So this one is also, I think, really powerful and really helpful. The last format that I'll talk about is probably the most general, and it's a list of principles. The sentence you might fill in if you're trying to come up with one of these is, we behave in accordance with the following principles. This one, and well, what is a principle? This is probably the most flexible because a principle can be a lot of different things, but I think it's also the one that is at most risk of confusing people. Because you don't want the principles to be too abstract, too generic, or too complicated for people to translate them into things like a set of adjectives that describe the experience, or a set of promises, a set of behaviors that they are ultimately going to have to do as employees to deliver that experience. So a couple examples of these, a lot of people have seen the EasyJet customer charter. They use principles like safety first, open and honest, and we're on your side. Marriott also articulates their customer experience vision as a set of principles: quiet luxury, crafted experiences, and intuitive service, right? Those are all principles, at least in my mind, that you then use to say, okay, we want to make decisions in accordance with those principles and deliver an experience that meets those principles. These are all variations on a theme, right? You're ultimately, with any of these, trying to capture for people the kind of experience that you want your customers to have. So really, you could use any of them. And if you're not sure what the best way is to articulate your customer experience vision, I find it can actually be really helpful to try writing it in all four of these formats and see if one feels more natural or if one is easier than the other. So for example, CVS could take one of their customer promises. It says eliminate stress, and turn it into an adjective. We want the experience to be stress-free, or we want people to feel relaxed. So you can translate them from one to the other, and sometimes doing that helps you understand what you really mean in this customer experience a little bit more. And that way you can also test it out with employees and see which one they find most useful. So I hope this video has been useful to you if you're in the process of writing or rewriting a customer experience vision statement. If it is, please like it, share. If you want to talk some more about your customer experience vision, you can feel free to email or connect with me on LinkedIn. If you are willing to share your customer experience vision statement, you can leave it in the comments or email it to me. I think the more examples of these we can get as a community, the easier it will become for all of us to have these templates and patterns that help us figure out how to write them. And we will kind of put the stake in the ground that says, here's what we're trying to do with customer experience. And that's the first step to achieving our goal of making every experience great for customers. Thanks very much. Bye.